Ladies and turds, boys and farts, it's Maddie here.
Yo, it's no one.
And today, in the background, you are watching some Mass Effect 3 multiplayer beta gameplay, and this is the first episode of Game Hype, the series that Noah mentioned on his channel in a more recent commentary. And basically, what this is we're going to be talking about rumors and news of games coming up, and what better than Mass Effect 3, the most anticipated game of 2012, to bring to you guys here with it in the background, nonetheless. We're going to give you some opinions on what we think of the beta overall, and then we're going to discuss some news to kind of pump you guys up for this game. So I
So,
don't know if you want to kick it off with
so
it.
really quickly, just with the beta talk, I want to make this kind of quick because we do have some interesting info to bring you guys. So, the beta was awesome. I was not able to play the single player. Matt will tell you guys how that was in a second. But straight off the bat, I noticed that really everything was pristine. I mean, I did notice the cover system sometimes being a little weird, but that may have been just me not being used to Mass Effect controls. Um, you know, Overall, the beta was awesome. I thought the gameplay was fun. The maps were fun. There was only two that we were able to play. One was funner than the other, but we're not going to get into that. The way the horde mode, if you will, worked was amazing. That's really what multiplayer is in that game. It's more of a co-op rather than a versus multiplayer. But there is still a leveling up system. There's XP, there's upgrades, there's all that, and I do think it's going to be really awesome when it comes out. We're going to definitely see a lot of multiplayer DLC and single player DLC, hopefully. So Matt, what can you tell us about the AI and the single player, really?
Um, well, let's start with the single player and then get more into the AI in a sec. Personally, I think the single player was cinematic and emotional as hell. Just from an hour of play, I really felt kind of engrossed and like really connected with the characters and what was going on. At one point, this is a spoiler, not really a big one. It is the first level though, so just a warning. You meet a little kid, and later on in the level, he tries to run away and get in a ship, and he tries to get away, but a Reaper gunship like shoots a laser at his ship, and he basically dies. And like you didn't even know him at all, and you just kind of like sit there like, whoa, fuck, like you're kind of like really shocked and engrossed, and you feel bad. And they're doing a really good job at storytelling. Personally, if you ask me, right off the bat, I could tell. Um, Aside from that, graphics obviously amazing. I really went over this hardcore in a video earlier, but that's basically my general opinion on it. The gameplay is great and all that stuff. Now onto the AI. You'll notice sometimes, I don't know if it's in this video, but if you played the multiplayer beta, for example, the corner we're in right here, like you'll have some enemies start moving up on you, going to cover, and you'll have like one guy who will get sent up to the top, and he'll just walk above you and then drop down behind you, and enemies will flank. They shout commands at each other that send them to different points of cover. They're really smart AI, and it's ridiculous how well done it is. Like I've never seen smarter AI ever. It's really honestly amazing. You won't notice it really in a gameplay watching it, but when you're playing and you're engrossed, and all of a sudden you're kind of getting flanked and stuff, it's really intense, and it's just amazing how smart the AI is. I really can't get over it, but yeah, that's my opinion on the AI.
Right, and it really is. It's amazing AI. Now, one of the things that I read on a forum, Matt actually talked to me about this, was the fact that Dice is helping BioWare with Mass Effect 3, the gun sounds. And if you don't know who Dice is, if you live under a rock, Dice are the same guys who made Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Bad Company 2. All the Battlefields is by Dice. Mirror's Edge is also by Dice. But they're helping with the gun sounds. And here's a forum post, a quote from TrueAchievements.com about the different stuff. So here it is. Uh, the Belgian magazine Chief unearthed an interesting little tidbit about the ongoing development of BioWare's Mass Effect 3. It appears as if Dice, developers of Battlefield Bad Company 2, are lending a hand in the development process. In more exact terms, Dice is assisting BioWare with Mass Effect 3's weapons, the sounds they make, how they alter the environment into which they are fired, the details of how the projectiles fly through space, and the distance of the projectiles travel, in short. Uh, sorry. In short, they're helping to make the guns fire good, sound good, and just be overall awesome. So that's the forum post, and like I said, I can't agree more. From playing after playing the demo, I mean, the guns really are the best that they have been. You notice the difference. You see the reload animations, you see the kickback. There's definitely recoil, even though it's a third person. There's definitely recoil present. You know, I mean, everything is just pristine in gameplay itself, and I fully expect the game to get a 10 or very, very close to it. You know?
Agreed. Along with that, we're gonna talk about the customization a little bit. Customization, sorry. For multiplayer mainly, because we all know how single player Mass Effect customization goes. You make how your guy looks. You pick a class. If he was Earthborn, all that stuff. Your past and all that kind of based off how people talk to you and stuff in the army. And yeah, we all know how that works. But in multiplayer, it's a lot different. Number one, you're not Commander Shepard. None of the story mode characters are featured inside multiplayer. Not whatsoever. There's no link to the story. Actually, there is, but not like storytelling wise. There's a link to the story where whatever you do in multiplayer affects your single player campaign. In different ways, which I'm really interested to see, and I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna pace out, my single player, go on multiplayer for a little bit, try to win a
Actually,
battle, so and so, and then like change my single player a little bit. I don't know if that's how it'll go or not, or if there's an option to like all of a sudden match make and go in the multiplayer, stuff like that. But fuck, what was I talking about? Just lost my train of thought.
talking about customization, buddy.
Okay, there we go. Anyways, multiplayer customization. Um, you know, there's races. You can play as any race, Turian, human, all them. And then you can pick from any class that's obviously featured in Mass Effect. All of them, you got the Infiltrator, Noah's an engineer. I'm playing as a Vanguard here. You all have different power melees. You all have different starting weapon setups. You
Right.
obviously all have different powers. And it makes this great co-op experience that just everyone has to work together. I could see it working a lot better if you're playing with a group of friends and a bunch of random people online. Because I was playing with a bunch of people online before Noah downloaded this, and it was fun, but I really didn't feel into it, and I didn't feel the communication at all, and just everyone was kind of doing it, every man for himself. Where I feel if you were
Yeah.
playing with a friend, there'd be more chatter, there'd be more
Oh,
strategy involved. But yeah, that
yeah. All just communication.
yeah,
I mean, who wants to play with a bunch of random kids in a non versus match? I mean, nobody. So I think the way this is working, if you're really a hardcore Mass Effect player, you're probably just gonna play with random kids. But if you're having two or three friends pick up the game like I am, all out, have fun on multiplayer because it will be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can see I can foresee a lot of DLC coming
same.
out for single player alone and multiplayer add-ons. Maybe we'll see a versus in the final game. Probably not, but maybe we'll see it sooner in the future. Like I said, I don't know. BioWare really doesn't do a lot of the versus kind of stuff. They don't really do a lot of multiplayer stuff. So to see them being able to do this successfully really is, I tip my hat to
Yeah,
them.
and
Yeah.
to kind of clean this up, I just want to say one thing. If you're kind of on the fence on if multiplayer is taken away from single player, from what I played from single player and from what I played from multiplayer, overall it's really good, and you can expect a great experience with this game. Don't worry about that whatsoever. I have full confidence in BioWare. They've been working on this since Mass Effect 1, so you can definitely trust them. They're also just a naturally good company working with EA and stuff, so you could just trust them. It's fine, you know.
Right.
But video's starting to wrap up. We got like 30 seconds left. I'm just kind of in the menu and stuff. You can kind of see how everything works, the guns and whatnot, and how you set things up and upgrade your character, and you can
Very,
change like their
very
colors.
right away. Very easy to get into right
Yeah,
away.
that's basically our final words though. Hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Game Hype. Um, Leave a comment on what you think. Noah, got any final words?
I love you.
All right, we're all going to have a bigger orgy later. Peace.
Sweet.